opening in the end of this Sunday evening candle that will end the weekly candle and officially the first weekly candle of the new year, or of the new month of February. It'll tell us a lot. We'll learn a lot in this candle. We hear a lot of emotional tirades out there. We hear a lot of the XRP sucks, or XRP's crashing, or the price never goes up, or I'm being scammed as a holder. It's a whole big narrative that's being developed now. And a lot of the lovers of XRP are now starting to all of a sudden turn into more of the backhanded holders that it's almost like a backhanded compliment. You hold XRP, but begrudgingly do it in the process, and then we have to hear about it every single day. When we get into the honest truth about it, XRP's at $1.43. It might not seem like much to most, but for the better part of 5 years of me being on here doing this, on March 24th of 2026 will be 5 years. And I've been here every single day along the way, so I've seen the price action every day. Only for a very small amount of time have I even been able to say XRP was over $1. So yeah, it might not be your cup of tea at $1.43. Hell, if it even breaks down in this descending triangle, just happens to whatever reason play down to 86 cents. If that ends up happening, or if we get the consolidation back out, the point is that where we're at right now, from the 2023 low, I mean, if we want to call a spade, XRP's up better than 50% or 500%. So sometimes the truth hurts. It's going to hurt somebody somewhere. The other hard truth is we need top buyers to pay out the ones who buy the bear markets. And we need the long hold, never sell attitude and mindset so that not us, but we're not talking about us, we're generalizing, so that you have the ones who want to buy and sell cycles that, are dedicated into certain things that they want to do, or just even the people that want to come and go and swing trade, who understand the chart. We need some people that are willing to sit in there and float the ship around. And then you need some people that are buying the bottom, some people buying the tops, and we'll meet in the middle. But the majority here's the honest to God truth. The market makers, I've come to the conclusion, they don't even care about retail. Just being honest. When you see the staggering numbers of the last 72 hours, not counting today, that there was over 500 million XRP tokens that changed hands in 3 days, just by liquidating leverage traders from both sides, it told me that retail doesn't even matter. We're all fighting a game that doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter about retail, about what we actually hold. They couldn't care less about the price we got it at. What they care about is the emotion of each level. But I firmly believe now, with the massive amounts of people getting liquidated through leverage, it's at an all-time high. There's an all-time high amount of people leveraging XRP in their small amount of holdings for their own mindset, because no matter what you hold, it shouldn't be small. For your own situation, whether you hold 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, or a million, it's all relative to what your own positioning. So I would never compare myself with somebody who's got millions of dollars in XRP, because then even if you look at what you have, it's well, is that really that much? For me, it is. For my own personal holdings, when I invest, that's good for me, because that's what I can afford to do. I never try to live in somebody else's world, because the truth is we all live different lives and it costs a different amount. And some of us live below and some of us live above our means and some of us live right at our means. So decisions affect everybody different. So to say somebody who's got millions and millions of dollars, they should be selling when it's at all-time highs from all-time lows, and they don't need it, and they're just looking at a long-term investment, comparative to somebody who has no money in the bank account and actually needs it to pay their rent and eat, or to buy a house, or that it's apples to oranges. So there's many different reasons why many different people do many different things. So we should all try to stay in our own relative lane while still trying to be helpful, positive, and trying to understand what we're trying to do in a longer scale. When we're looking at XRP, let's not look at it for today's $1.42 or yesterday's, $3 or the 23s, 28 cents. Those prices are gone forever. It's in the here and now. So we need to figure out what to do now. If you don't own anything, or you want to own something, or you haven't bought anything, or you want to sell something, all that's happened already doesn't matter. All that happens is what's happening today. You don't get so emotional, and you get out of the mindset of XRP owes me something. The bottom line is, if you would have bought in 2023, you're well ahead of inflation right now. At the least, XRP is giving you 5x on inflation, depending on when in 23. But for the majority, I mean, you'd still be under 50 cents. So even if you bought it, worst case scenario, you should still be up 400% in that era. But now we're in another bear market. That's the beauty of this. And we once prophesized or theorized or fantasized about the fact that what if XRP's next cycle, instead of coming down to 20 cents and 15 cents, like last time 28 cents, the time before 10 cents, what if we didn't have to come to 28? What if it was $1? Even if it is 80 cents, that's a big difference from going back down to 28 cents. Think about this. When we were at $1, when we were at 10 cents in 2020, it just seemed like a great bull market because it ended up going from 10 cents on a historic drop out the yin yang when that announcement of the lawsuit was announced, and it went 18x roughly. 19x. That was a good move. But then it comes back down. We go down to 28.5 cents, right? We go to almost $4. Not as big of a move, but in reality, not too bad. We actually did like a 15, 16x from the bottom. Not horrible. Not horrible at all. We went 15, 16, 100%. It's all about where you micromanage the move. And then, this time, what if it does start at 85 cents? Just think about this. Or 70 cents. Or 53 cents. I preferably would like to think of this scenario at 86. But I could definitely see it at 92 or somewhere else. But this time it starts to go 500%, 1,000% from there. So, it's mind-boggling. I so easily know how to keep people's attention. But I find it remarkable that whenever I get into the real shit with XRP, excuse my French, it's a family-friendly show, the real gnocchis of this, when I get into the real nuts and bolts about how to make money, you could not believe how quick people want to run for the exits. It's like, I don't understand. What is it? Can somebody please explain it to me? Are we just allergic to money in society today? Good evening. 4:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, February 8th, 2026. I'm Xrp Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Kicked the shit out of Ohio State today. Excuse me, family-friendly show. We knocked the shorts out of, or the shorts down from, the Ohio State Buckeyes today, I'm proud to say. Michigan improves to their all-time best start in program history. What are they, 22-1 now? Still think they're going to win it all. Thought it before the season. I can't change now. I wouldn't change now. Best team I've ever seen. At least out of the old Ann Arbor. Anyhow. Right now, XRP in the 2-hour time frame looks like hell. I'm not going to lie to you. Looks trash. Volume, horrible. Now, we didn't fall out yet, but we might as well. At some point, we're either going to have to break out and start to, appease ourselves up here. And me personally, you know what I want now? You can fall off the fucking map. Please, XRP, get rid of all these greedy pieces of trash that don't even deserve to own, that don't even deserve to be in this community. That's my new stance. I want XRP, go down to these levels so we can get rid of all these has-been, know-it-alls, never was, will be, was this, is that crowd. And we can get to the real community, because it's all a bunch of nonsense. When you get into a bull run, you get a bunch of the Johnny-come-latelys and they want to run a bunch of spew. I'd rather just get them out of here. Let's get down to a good level and let's do this again for the third time together. We've seen this twice. Let's do it a third time. Let's just do it a third time. Third time's a charm. Let's live in the moment. Let's learn from the past. I've done this twice before with this community. I'm not going to do it the same way a third time. I'm going to be so upfront this time that, hey, I don't care if you're complaining, okay? I don't care if XRP's got you down 50%. All that tells me is you bought a top, and that's okay. That just means you need to learn the charts for this next time around. You need to learn how to get control of the emotion. We got to get on the same page. Look at this. We're setting up. It's not that it's even trash. It's just, it's got no confidence. XRP has no confidence right now. It's because it's trying to find a stable base. It's trying to get rid of all the, you know, if I did this a different way, I would come on here every single day, and how everybody has to get their like fake views, I would do it in the complete opposite way. I'd play devil's advocate. I'd say, you know why XRP is not going up? It's because of all everybody who's saying that it's a piece of crap, that it's always crashing, that the price can never go up. You know what? It hurt its feelings. XRP's hurt. It's a hurt dog. It said, you know what? To the community, to the army, to the members, I'm hurt. Ripple's hurt. You bought me at 28, 35, 50 cents and you're complaining? I don't see any savings rate that's going up this high. Hell, even your fancy gold can't even match what I've done since that time. So, even your phenomenal silver hasn't put on better gains than me. That's the truth. Well, no, it's not. Well, wait a minute, XRP. Let's hold our breath real quick. This is kind of an even-to-even kind of match. Okay, with silver, we're kind of on the same. Okay, so XRP's on par with silver. So, but everybody, this is the trap. This is 1/3 the game of trading. 1/3's having enough money. 1/3's knowing how to trade. And 1/3 is the psychology. It always has been. And it's like, once you understand 95% of us is going to lose, you understand how important this is. I got to let my cat in. It's going nuts outside. You know, ghost. It's just... Come on. Hey, I got you some good food, though. Hold on. Here, let me grab a plate. Come on, Ghost. Here, I got food. Yeah, I know. It's going to be really good. Oil. Don't let me tell you those things. Throw up. Alright, sorry about that. But that's the truth. Time to sell. Well, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not going to tell you that this is the time to sell. I mean, there was many opportunities to sell if you were going to sell. This is not, I mean, this doesn't, it still hasn't come up to $1.60 or 56. It still hasn't. I just personally believe that this pattern is going to play us down farther, but it can be invalidated. So for someone to be like, oh yeah, it's a guarantee you need to sell here, well, that they can't just tell you that. I'm under the impression though that we're within a wider pattern like this, and since we went to resistance, look at this, it always screws it up on TradingView now. That is unbelievable. Ah, that's fine, whatever, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I always wonder, though, if we should angle this now because of how far it went, just to kind of see a trajectory. Hold on, let me see something. Nah, that's not even going to do anything, because even if it cut it down, what's the point? It's a few cents. It's a few cents. There's nothing really there. This pattern hasn't changed at all. I mean, it's just, this is just as bearish as it was when it came up the first time. And now we haven't even cleared the exit wick here, which is... Actually, we did. No, yeah, we did. That's good. See, we need to figure this out. It did. It tried. It came here to here. Now we've got the wick. But in my opinion, it's probably going to come down to 86. That's the way the pattern's drawn out. Now, the only way to invalidate that feeling for me, and it's very easy. It seems complicated, but it's not. This descending triangle that showed up in this pattern... And not all charts look the same, because they all have different areas where it wicked down. This one just happened to wick down and almost gave us a golden ticket by stopping exactly here, forming on one chart the double support structure, which ended up creating a downtrending resistance. So in the beginning, all's well. You know, we could be thinking this is flagging out. Big flag, right? Oh my God, this is huge. Oh God. This can be one of the greatest runs of all time. My dear Lord. And we know we looked at it from that perspective, remember? The big move. That was the big move if it would have did everything right. Well, that was more like that's not a target of ours right now. But these are the overanalyzation. But the big moves. But then what did we realize? Very quickly what was happening. Resistance, okay, that's fine. Support, still fine? It's fine. We're forming a flag, right? Something. We're forming a pennant. I don't know. Not quite a pennant, but it's okay. We could have even said we were doing this, which is how we started, which we had to evolve after. But we had a nice little consolidation that broke us out. Well, when it started to go wrong, what happened to this? Is right around here. When we hit the second resistance, again, that's fine. Came around, okay, we're having a problem here. Fell all the way down to support, came around and still got rejected. And that's when we said, oh, shit. That's a old Bessie. You know what that is? For anybody who doesn't know technicals, they have no idea what's going on there. But that's basically the Pirates when they know it's over and they start waving it's over. They wave the flag. In war, you come out there with your underwear on. Got your underwear on a stick, because I can't imagine they'd have a real flag. They're waving their underwear. I don't know, anything to not get killed in that scenario. But, like, that's how it feels right now. You're at the depths of despair. Really at the depths of despair. So, anything short of coming up and breaking this area is bearish. And we haven't come up there yet. That's why I'm still not convinced that we're not. I know it came up to $1.54, but that's not $1.56. It's not $1.56. But at the same time, I mean, if we got to get some volume. Gotta get some volume. Nothing's broke yet, though. I keep saying it over and over today. Nothing's broke yet. We are XRP. That's the truth. Everybody can knick-knack, paddywhack. You know, give a dog a bone or kick Tom in the nuts. But the truth is, I've been here every single day for 5 years, not missing a beat. In fact, my 5-year anniversary is March 24th of 2026, and y'all know I've been through hell and back with the boy. With little T, my son. You know, but we see a thing or two, and we know a thing about a thing or two. Not just me, we. I say we because so many bright minds in this community. This is one of the few communities I think that has a good overlook of what's coming. Hey, thanks Cannabis Podcast. Yes, I would definitely rewind on this one. There's a strong message, not a bad message, a strong message. A strong message. It needs to be said, and it's a good thing. So when we're looking at that chart, and thank you, Mr. Euler, for gifting a sub, not only in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge, and it got gifted this to Ellis. Oh, Ellis Wiggins back in Tom's Army. Congratulations, Ellis. Second month with the Dusty's Out House Crypto News. Jay for Mix, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 year, for your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. Nick Knack, Paddywhack, welcome back, my friends. Positive vibes as always. The Bowl. Good evening. Tomorrow we flush. But we will. What the hell kind of bowl is it? No, I'm kidding. The Bull RJ. More like the Bear Tom. We're on a club line. Anyhow. Tomorrow we flush, but we probably make a recovery around February 20th. I don't disagree. If we could. Oh my God. My mind wants this flush so bad. Oh, I want it so bad because I know. I just know there's a lot of people hurting. And I know there's a lot of people that are sitting there going, I can't buy, I won't buy, I refuse to buy. And then we're going to get to a moment when I'm like, I know you can't buy, won't buy, refuse to buy. But now you can't not buy. You can't refuse to buy. And I refuse to let you not buy. Even though I'm not a financial advisor, so I refuse to let you think I'm anything more than an entertainer. Although, I would like to believe we've got a proven history here that I can't talk about, otherwise my other nut's going to get put in a vice. I'm sorry, I already got kicked hard in one of them by some in the crowd earlier. So, you know, let's keep the other one intact so we don't have to go the artificial route. Capiche? I'm even drinking my mushroom elixir now to try to rebalance my mood. The mood balancing tonic. Well, it shouldn't even be called a tonic. It's reishi, chaga, and turkey tail. And I told you, even though the Super Bowl was out, I was coming on twice. I'm surprised there's 105 people here. Now, if this happens, don't say I told you so. If it doesn't happen, don't even act like I said it. So, I was trying to find a glitch in the Matrix for the betting odds for Vegas. And I seem to have come across one that it stumped even, it was giving AI a run for its money, and it's the only scenario I can see that makes sense. So there's, and I know there's a lot of fans if you're in Seattle. I think this should work out well for you. So we know there was the con job with the Patriots winning at the 1 yard line. It all theatrics, it has to go into the certain overall historical value. So now, what I think, everybody thinks that this can't happen because I know like 60% of the money's on Seattle to win -4.5. Well, I started to throw a little curveball. So if Seattle wins by 10 or more, and the under, like if let's just say it's a low, let's just say it's like a 30 or 24-14 game or something, 27. The majority of people pick Drake May to always go over on passing, and they're going to today. Like 80 something percent of the betting public has him over. They have Stephon Diggs over. So a large majority has the over. So if it if they win by 10 or more and it's like a 24-14 game, Vegas wins the hidden bet. And the hidden bet is everybody on New England who not only takes them to win, but everybody who even thinks Seattle's going to win, but they still take New England -4 or +4.5. That whole bet goes goodbye. If it's like a 24-14 game, Drake May's going to do the under. Stephon Diggs is going to go under likely. So if they go that whole route, I think there's a hidden divergence there. So the hidden divergence would be, and I don't know if it's going to take this route, there could be volume coming in the terms of Drake May throwing for way too many yards and that kind of thing. That's the hit. That's the volume coming in. What could ruin this hidden divergence? I'm trying to put it in terms of my sports fans. What could hurt this hidden divergence that we've discovered is if Drake May comes out, throws for a bunch of yards, Stephon Diggs gets a bunch of receiving yards, and they score a bunch of points. That can ruin a setup that's happening. Just like for XRP. We want it to go down for some of us to 86 cents so we can get a lot more. But the bottom line is if the volume comes in, which is Drake May's passing yards in the football, or in XRP's terms, people buying in real volume, it could send us up and invalidate this movement by just getting over $1.56 and ultimately taking out $1.77. Then I'm going to sit here and go, okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since this bear market started, we are almost out of the woods, and now we're feeling good. But until that happens, that's it. I hope that resonates. That's the time we're in right now. So you get one chance. I say it every cycle. We get one chance at this. Get one chance. So far, so good. We get one chance. And that doesn't mean if you own, you just sell everything. That means you have to pay attention to what's setting up. In a lot of senses, that time's already passed. Now it's so damn risky because who knows if it's going to keep dropping. You really don't. You think it's going to. It's set up in that way, but how many times have you seen it when it doesn't always 100% play out? So, we also... But I personally believe we'll probably flush the futures later, so we'll see. I think we're setting up nice. I think what we were doing was setting up nice here. The futures is at $1.45. We're at $1.42. We can get a little bit of a movement. But there's a huge gap that's going to be left here. Just from price range on the futures, I think. Because over the weekend, we had some interesting movement just in the market. The futures won't reflect it, but over the weekend, we came down to, what was it for XRP? $1.38. What was the most the futures came down out of curiosity? Yeah, see, the futures has only come down to $1.44. There's a little bit of a disparity. The other thing I noticed in the futures, which helps clean up the volume, look how low the volume was after that big sell candle. Like, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. We should be picking up significant volume. And right now, it leaves you on a hook. Now, if it opens up and we're at like $1.38, $1.30, it's going to change the way we view this real quickly. Well, I mean, it's not going to change the way we view it, but it's going to continue to emphasize a point that now this would turn into a reversal. So it's tricky what happens here. We're at such a tricky time. It doesn't seem so tricky because what's helping us right now is, again, do you guys think XDC is an outlier or do you think it's telling us into the future? Do you think XDC is a loser, or do you think it's got some muscle and it's going to kill us into the future? Did you eat your vitamins today kind of thing with XDC? I think XDC is not an outlier. It's telling us what's happening. It's too big of a fish. It's too big. It's too big. So I'm going to keep updating this and look at it like it wants me to see it. Until it does something, I'm going to keep looking at it. I'm going to keep staring at it. I'm going to keep watching it. I'm going to keep looking for what it wants me to see. Because right now it hasn't happened yet. But it's starting to let me see something like this. We don't even have to go back that far in time. It says, Tom, we got to cut this down a little bit. And we will. And that's, I think, what we're looking at right now. We're going to see exactly what this does. This is everything right now. If XDC can hold this, we know even if we get a small push down, we're going to come right back up. If XDC breaks this pattern, I mean, this is the beauty of it. And everybody's going to say, well, why would they make it so easy? Why would they just have something out ahead? Well, who actually watches XDC? Out of 100 people I talk to, 95 of them tell me I'm an asshole for not talking about XRP. 4 of them say, who gives a rat's ass about XDC, along with the other 95. And then the one person who actually likes it, they're so engaged that it's so fun. Am I seeing this right? Bitcoin quadruple top near to 71.5. Well, I mean, if you want to look at it in those regards, yeah, that's a big area of concern. Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 right in this area. You could legitimately say in this pattern. However, if we cut this across, right? Let's have a little bit of fun here. We're all friends here. What if that's a flat? We're just having fun here in case Bitcoin doesn't break down, and this would be good. If you want some bullish momentum, you would look for this to not be what it looks like. You would want this to be a flat top, right? Well, I would too, but I don't know. Would it be like this? Or would it be like this, which is how I would probably play this, just like this. That's how I would say this pattern is. What is that? What is that? Anybody know? You can even use AI. No? Everything follows Bitcoin. There's also that guy everywhere else. Yes. Yes. Yes, it follows Bitcoin all the time. But my friend, how do we know the prices of the other things if we don't follow them too? Are we wizards? Do we do mental readings? Am I a psychic? But yes, it does follow Bitcoin. But yes. Yes, let's keep feeding off that narrative. Sorry, crypto war. It's been a long 5 years. It's the best I can say. Piano needs batteries. Oh, I gotta go. I was wondering. That's so funny. I thought somebody in the audience said like T's thing needs batteries. I'm gonna go put the batteries in for Julie. I'm coming, my love. I'm coming, T. I'll bring it right back. go, TT. Put in that charger. Oh, he sounds great 40 years later. Oh, okay. Oh, here, I'll shut the door. Oh, really? Not cool. Alright, sorry about that. I had to go help my son. Andrew says Super Bowl fan dollars. Sup, Super Bowl fan dollars. Yeah. We were talking about that earlier. We seen a little bit of a I seen a little bit of a narrative building in the if Seattle wins by more than 10 and it's like a 24-14, even 27-17, 31-14, 7, anything where New England doesn't score a bunch of points and Drake May, Stephon Diggs have the under, Seattle can win by that margin, and they would have to win by a margin greater than 4.5. But more to the tune of So I think Seattle could win by 10 or more, but I've been surprised before. Nick Knack says confused on how we obtain volume for price to go up. I'm assuming manipulation or some BS of it. No, it's just the volume comes in many different ways. Normally when the volume's not coming in, the trading algorithm shuts off the buys. That's it. We just need them to go back into the narrative that it's got to be there's got to be a reason for it. So is there going to be some big player that comes in that we need to appreciate the price for them? Is there going to be a narrative where all of a sudden they're ready for this to go to the next area? Like the price is going to appreciate over time. It's meant to. It's not meant to stay the same. Despite the goofy assessments, the only reason people aren't happy now is because they've seen what happened before 2017. Went from multiple zeros, to $3 plus. Now the only reason they're mad is because they've seen it in 21 go from 10 cents to $2. Now everybody's mad because they've seen it go in 23 from 28.5 cents to $3.60, let's call it. And now we're sitting at $1. It's like, if you just look at where we started and where we're going, we went from multiple zeros to 3 plus. Then we went to 10 cents to $2. Then we went from 28.5 cents up to almost $4. But the bottom point is getting a little bit higher every time. Does it take a lot of patience? Oh, you better freaking believe it. And it's not called investing for no reason. If it was called instant riches to wealth, they wouldn't call it investing. They would call it the miraculous turnaround. The biggest secret since the wheel was invented. Or the biggest discovery since we were walking around in the middle of the woods being like, this kind of sucks. And then a spark happened somehow, some way. Nobody knows how. Maybe 2 rocks hit each other. They threw a rock. The wife threw a rock at the husband, and thank God she did because it bounced off. I mean, that's the way the story should be told. How we discovered fire? Mrs. What would you call him then? I don't know. Maybe the Captain Caveman cartoon could tell us. But she threw something at her husband and it sparked something. And then all of a sudden, fire was discovered. Then they had to move it. They had to get a bunch of wood. And they were sick of moving it around. And then she threw another thing and it started rolling like a donut. So then they're like, holy crap, that's a good idea. Let's put a stick in between that and we can call it. And then they started moving it and they said, there's a wheel. You know, it's crazy what happens. All happened with the wife being mad at the husband. It's kind of ironic. You know, I mean, this is what people would believe if they had no idea. That's why you gotta think about it. That's why you gotta think about it. Look what they're teaching us. We have no idea. They're just telling us. We go to school and we look at a book and we say, this is fact. But then when you start asking questions, they say, well, that's a bad apple there, that Tom. Or that Chuck, I'll tell you. That guy's a piece of work. Always causing a disruption in my class. Why? Is he out of order? No. He's always questioning everything. Isn't that a good thing? Absolutely not. Not when you're an establishment. We want soldiers. We want the yes, sir, no, sir, I'll do whatever you say, sir. They don't want the free thinker. They want the brown noser. How far can I stick my head up their ass, right? We don't want to be a society of that. I just read that comment. Who said that nickname? I love it. Who said that? CJ Tupac. He throws some Xrp in. Maybe it'll make Xrp figure out how to gain some legs, right? Sometimes it's funny. God is the woman, hence the chaos. I'd like to believe if God was a woman, things would be slightly different than they are now. But, you know, I've been wrong before. Don't worry, guys. I've held the XRP for 8 years, and after the SC lawsuit, ROUSD creation, ETFs, and other positive XRP just broke a smidge above its 2018 high. Well, at least you're in the positive, right? Whoever said a 8-year investment should be paying more than a 10% return. The hell with what they say. By the way, we're talking about the... You son of a bitch. And it's not even your fault. Who just said that? Eyes open, it's not even your fault. The whole point was... That's funny. In the title I put that XRP's up better than 500%. I'm sorry, it just hit me like a rock. And I can understand. There's people in this audience that are sitting there going, you son of a bitch. It's up 500%. Why did you tell people it's down 50% for my purchase in 2017? Huh? Because that would be a lie. It's down 70%. You know? Oh, it's so funny. That's why I always say, like, I'm sorry, but have you learned a lesson from 2017? Well, Tom, I haven't bought any since 2017. Well, you haven't learned shit. You've had a chance at 10 cents. You've had a chance at 28 cents to try to lower that average. Hell, you just had a chance at almost $1. Oh, we got to learn, folks. I'm sorry, you guys are making me cry. What a live. What a live. And you say you can't be entertained. We'll never draw the big crowd, but we'll draw the right crowd. Let's see. Any other thoughts this evening before I lose my audience? No joke, I lost 120 people. Oh, it's been some wild volatility, guys. Oh, I'm almost afraid to show you the volatility. Y'all know. You want to see the volatility of subscribers? Just when you think you've done something good, they all go away. Where's my subscribers? We had a great day here, 117. I must have said something that really pissed people off yesterday. Because I lost 141 people yesterday. That's the biggest move of the year, besides this one. That was 106 on January 27th. So, I'm not sure what I said yesterday. I thought we had a great show yesterday. Actually, one of the best ones. But you know what's funny about that? It was down to 4,600 and something when I woke up. And it's good to see that it's back over 46,700. So some are re-signing up. So. No, exactly, Andrew. XRP life, it's up, it's down. Try not to frown, it will come around. Yeah, it will come around. Indeed. Hopefully. I still can't get over the N key and NKL, NL, NLil. Dude, I told him how fire was discovered. You know that? Julie?
What?
I told the audience how fire was discovered.
Your fire?
No. I told the audience how fire was discovered.
By you?
No, by an angry wife throwing a rock at her husband and it bounced off the wall and they discovered a flame or a spark. And then the wheel, the wife threw a rock that had a hole in the middle at the husband and it started rolling down the hill and they stuck a stick in between and now they had a wheel.
Yeah.
Because they needed to collect sticks for the fire that they just recently discovered. And after all, who wants to push their fish from the lake when you have a wheel? It's true. And then the first chef was created because... Well, well, then the chef was created naturally by the Neanderthal because now he wanted to cook the fish on the fire because now they didn't have to eat it raw anymore. And then you needed somebody who could push the food from one end to the other. And now a table was created. So damn, we've got... Anyhow, it's that spiraling thing. I know. It's... Oh, no, it didn't. People say what happens when you look at crypto for 5 years straight, particularly XRP. This, you start hypothesizing or making hypotheticals about how we got fire in the wheel. Don't chase the audience, attract the audience. They're already here. I agree. I love that. I love that, the Cannabis Podcast. Speaking of attracting an audience, I think some of you should go watch Cannabis Podcast channel. Getting closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Could use a little push. Had a new content not too long ago here. Especially if you're into herbal healing, cannabis, all this good stuff. Go take a look. I know you'd appreciate it, the team. Anyhow, what do we need to look at here? I know a lot of you are going to be going to watch Super Bowl soon. I want to get my I have a dip that I make, and Julie really wanted it today, and I bought the stuff, so I'm going to make the dip. Is the origin of fire going to be a test question in class tomorrow? It just might be. Extra credit? Does anybody know how the origin of fire was created? And I want to know exactly. And if you don't say what I said, like in school, you're wrong. Right? They would tell me that I was wrong when my family lived through Nazi, when they came through Italy, the Nazis. And they took my family store and then killed off some of the family. And made it a Nazi outpost. And then, they got to hang their own leader, Mussolini, by his own statue. That was ultimate justice. But that's why I'm here in America. My grandpa, over 10 years, sent over the whole family while he was over there. And that's how my family got here. My dad was generation 1, and I'm second generation. But the school told you that didn't happen. And I got into a lot of trouble. I'm like, go ahead, bring my grandpa in. He died in 2001. I'd always be like, ask my grandpa speaker to come in. I'll let him tell you what happened in Italy. And with the Nazis. You go, let him tell you. Now, I'm not the one saying it. If I ever told my grandpa what you told me, he'd fucking beat the hell out of me, is what he would do. He didn't play that. He was the old school Italian. He didn't care if we were his grandkid. But yeah. Let's see. XRP. I'm very interested with this like this. Like, I am so interested in what this is building like this. I really am. How that did that, I don't know, man. That's rough. I guess I could go like this and give it like a little chance. Either way, it looks like hell if it breaks down. I've always kind of been a fan of doing something like this. But we'd have to break it down to the 30-minute. I would have to kind of do it like this, though, which is going to make it interesting. I don't know, that don't look good. That just doesn't look good. That looks like a right shoulder is setting up in real time if that breaks down. Now, if you can somehow come around this, then okay. But if this breaks down from here, that's too much movement to the downside. That's going to... Okay, well, we could have a drawdown zone. All right, let's put this here so we don't lose our... Just in case you're not paying attention. I'll do you a little justice like I did for Bitcoin with the little bit of a draw up we could go through the scenario. Where it's like a big liquidity zone that even if you're in there and it feels good, you got to get past it. Otherwise, it's just that. It's going to be a siphon down after you get to the top. If you can even get to the top. Which one do I want to use? I don't like how they updated this. Have I mentioned that before? I'm sure I have many times. It doesn't make any sense. They moved some of the stuff, which doesn't make any sense. So I would say, I mean, it really is the drawdown range. This is where the logical rejection could happen at the first area, but obviously coming up here made a lot more sense because then you clear out this entire liquidation of a gap that could have been back up, back down, back up. Technically here, but you get to re-emphasize it here for clarity. So you've already filled that. So now I look at it from here. You've got basically this wick that was down here. It starts right here. And like you draw it down. And like for me, if I'm looking at this and saying, you know, what is the worst case scenario that we can do and still hold this? I would say right here. And I know that is even pushing it, and I acknowledge that. This would be pushing it like a son of a gun. But if we're pushing it. That's what we're trying to do. We're doing every last thing we can possibly do in this pattern before it ceases to exist. And I think that's an accurate interpretation. So if we get down into there, that's basically your liquidity source. We'll even let it run down a little bit just in case. But if it comes down below there, it's over. Like, I'll give it that. And I don't even think I should give it that much. I almost think that's a sin to give it that much. It is. I can't go that far. Yeah, I can. I can make a case. You know what? I'm going to draw it in the middle. I'll make a case and an argument for it. But I don't think you can go much farther than that. So right now we're on the outside at least. Just on the outside of this box. Just on the outside of this box, as a matter of fact. This would be a huge drawdown area. Let's go into here. I don't know, I kind of like it. It's not that high. I'm going to have to redo this. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, hold on. Because I can't justify going much lower than right here. Because if I go lower than that, it's a problem. I know maybe for some you might not even notice it. But for me, it would be too much. I've done all I can do. So that is basically, if you're going to trade below there, you better make damn sure you stay in that range. So the only reason I show something like that is because that could technically bring us down to that $1.28, which is, I acknowledge it's a little farther down than I would like to be. Like, I would like to be right here, but I know in my heart that it could still come past $1.34 and be okay. But to be safe, I don't want to come back below here, to be clear. So if you want to tighten it up a little bit, I certainly don't want to be on the bottom side. And I think I'm going to keep it here to show how urgent it would be to the bottom. So, and that's why for Bitcoin it kind of emulates except to the top side. Bitcoin's in this big box. Big bear. It's got to get out of here. It's never even retapped this area. It's never well, this is the big area. But it did come down. See how it came here, back around, back down, up and through? At least when we came back through here, we reappeased this area. So technically, if it wants to come out of here, it can come out of here. But how long has it been? 50 minutes? It's been a great live. I'm so glad we did this second live, honestly. Hit the mark for me. 50 minutes. I know. Even Julie says this live was so awesome I knocked her socks off. Can't believe how fast the live went. That's exactly how she knows. What does the heat map below show? Not what you want it to, honestly. But think about it. Here's the other thing, guys, you have to remember. I know there's a lot of stuff up here, but the farther away from that we get, this will start to clear itself out. If we come back down, that's not going to be up here anymore. But as of right now, there's a lot of liquidity up over the top. But the heat maps don't work as well as you might want to think. Oftentimes you'll see a big liquidity zone and then one way or the other they clear out. Like look at the 3 month. That's a perfect example of how that liquidity started to clear out over 3 months. But yeah, there's a lot for a retest back up here if and when we ever come back up there. And now for XRP, I'd like to look at it. But yeah, there's some liquidity building up for sure. Okay, I promise I'm about done, and then we can make that stuff if you want.
Yay.
Do you want it before the Super Bowl?
How about the dip?
Yeah, I know you do. I'll make the dip after.
The dip.
And then the Super Bowl will come when it comes. Ethereum. Ah, shoot. Ethereum in the 1 month. Ah, thank you, KG. I appreciate that. It's still all about this. Even for Ethereum. It's all about this. It almost looks like a rising wedge is starting. What the hell? Is that a rising what? I didn't look at Ethereum today. Maybe not. Maybe it's just... Maybe not. I could be seeing things. I don't think I am seeing things. That kind of looks like a rising wedge. Interesting. How the hell did he see it in the heat map? Well, because it shows everywhere. If you're looking for a pattern. If I didn't know any better, and these can be in disguise, you know, you just got to break to the top side with a little bit of volume or just break out, and then we could kind of show this inverse pattern, keep going. It's got to make sure this doesn't break down. That's just a short term saying, okay, open your eyes a little bit, make sure we clear this out, and then we're all good. That's all this is saying. That's all this is saying. Let's just be careful. Be cautious. Just pay attention. Because it might not be a rising wedge. I'm wondering if that's a flat. Well, I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could really say that's flatter. Because that doesn't look flat. No, it's not. Why even BS? That looks like a rising wedge. You have higher highs, higher lows, coming in from a rising position, and coming in from a rising position, higher highs, higher lows. Oh, I know. The bull, I've had some epic lives like that where we've had big runs or big falls that we were waiting for, and it's always so much fun when that happens. I personally enjoy these spots more because now we can speculate. Are we turning into a rising wedge here? I like speculation. It's possible. We're definitely making the case that we need to get out of here. Yay or nay? Is this a rising wedge? Yay or nay? If it is, let's just say we break down here. Oh. Okay, well that would be a nice swift drop back down to like 1980. Oh, and it does make sense because everybody's getting excited about this possible inverse head and shoulders. What if it did play down right at the Super Bowl? What time frame is the apex? Monday, February 9th. 70% of the move is going to be achieved right now as the Super Bowl starts. Oh, this is too perfect. It happens every time, kind of the same. That looks like a rising wedge. I'm just as bullish as the other guy, and when I have to be. So we're gonna get the Super Bowl come in. Somebody even messaged me, and now I know it's gonna dump probably. Somebody sent a message, say, "Hey Tom," this on Facebook. "Hey Tom, they're gonna be doing the Mr. Beast token. It's gonna pump crypto." I'm like, "Oh my friend." Not only is that guy a canonical pile of horse shit. Oh, I'm sorry, dog shit. I mean, what's the right word? He's a grotesque individual who profits off of the poorness of other people. Let's just put it that way. While perpetrating the fact that he's helping out the very poor people he steals from. Kind of a funny thing we're talking about here. But, oh yeah, his token, it may pump initially, but guess what? You're going to get rugged. And not just that, they're going to bring the liquidity from the rest of the market and bring it into memes. You want them promoting some Mr. Beast pile of horse manure token? I don't think so. Any dollar that goes into that garbage is coming out of utility. Don't you understand the game? They take the utility tokens away, the financing from them, the money, and they put them into memes. We don't want that. So far on this rising wedge we've had in solid hits in the 30-minute, because it's a smaller pattern. 1, 2, 3, 6 different candles in the 30-minute have hit resistance. Let's go out into like the 2 hour where it's bigger, or 4 hour, because it's formed in the higher time frames, which is concerning to me. And like this is supposed to, if you look at it like this, realistically, this is more supposed to be like right here. And I'm gonna have to end this too, because my son's waiting for me. I can hear him. I'm ending it, T. I promise. I know you're waiting. You've been very patient. But we have to make sure it's not a rise or an ascending triangle or something stupid. But realistically, probably something like, no, I don't even like that. I like it better from here, I think. Because it's hard now. Because in the 30-minute, it's easier to see what I was going for. Like that. So I've had multiple hits on either side of this. But I'm going to end this for my son. Have a blessed day. Enjoy the Super Bowl. It's been a fun hour. You want to say bye to everybody? No?